Are you ready for a life of purpose and passion rather than one just sitting around, watching the time clock, waiting to punch it? Well, the Success, Purpose, and Prosperity Plan is available to you at a massive reduction in price, and it's being packaged with 1 year of free membership in my online Vedic astrology learning community, Easy Astrology Society Plus. If you'd like more information on this, you can follow the link above. Sometimes the thing that we need to do most is the thing that's really, really, really hard. And I imagine you know what I'm talking about. Only, guess what? You got it wrong. Because I'm not talking about that big change that you feel that you need to make because of, well, perhaps some, difficult realizations that are beginning to dawn on you. Instead, I'm talking about the fact that you perhaps need to wait a little bit through all that confusion and through all that tension. And yes, I understand it's like nigh on impossible to kind of deal with, especially coming out of eclipse time and with all that traffic going down the road. I'm not in the middle of a motorway by, just to let you know, it's actually just that I've got the window open because it's warm weather over here. But in either sense, for the last, at least like since the solar eclipse, and most more intensively since the recent lunar eclipse, it's been feeling like there's a major change on the cards. And you're probably going through a little bit of review and reconsideration of those things that belong in your life and those things that no longer belong in your life. And you're likely doing the same thing with one or two people with whom you share this, this wonderful planet with, right? So, thing is, you may feel compelled due to getting fed up to here with a situation. You may feel compelled that you have to take immediate action. But the thing is your sense of discernment is probably not at its peak at the present moment. And if you try to think this one through too much in terms of, perhaps how to strategize a shift, you're likely going to find yourself in a position where you're complicating a process much more than you are sorting through it. What's going to actually serve you better during this particular time is trying to incorporate much less head-based thinking and much more heart-based reflection. And I know what you're saying. You're going, how much of this heart-based reflection can I do when every time I go through that heart-based reflection, I find that I can't say heart-based reflection? No, only kidding. Every time hey, it's Mercury retrograde. That's my excuse. As a matter of fact, we can blame everything on Mercury retrograde. But every time you get into that heart-based thinking, there we go. I got it right that time. Every time you get into that heart-based thinking, it feels as confusing as all of that stuff that I just muttered for you just then. And in addition to that, it probably feels, well, a little bit sad, occasionally melancholy. Sometimes, well, let's be clear about it. Sometimes it pisses you right off, okay? And you're not going to lie to yourself about that. So how much more of that heart-based thinking can you do? Well, you need to do a little bit more. Because the thing is as you go through this process, you're likely going to find that there are several things and perhaps even a few people that just seem to fall by the wayside all of their own accord. And then it saves you from having to make really difficult decisions because it just naturally happens along the way, right? Things have a way also of turning around at the last moment. So if you jump too quickly on a decision between now and the 19th of May, you're likely going to find that you regret it later on. Now, that doesn't mean that you can just, sit and go, I'm not going to do anything until after the 19th. Well, no, we go through our day-to-day existence. Decisions do have to be made along the way. But with those that you're in a position to go, okay, I actually can wait a little bit on this. I'm perhaps just getting into a panic or feeling a lot of anxiety and feeling a little bit racy inside of myself. But I can actually wait and give things a chance to see what's actually going to turn around during this particular time. If you can do that, time is going to help the situation much more than anything else. Things are not clear right now, especially between now and the 19th, as Mercury in its retrograde motion is closing in on Rahu, the North Node. And as that happens, it's hard for you to know. I guess I want to use the words right and wrong. It's hard for you to know right and wrong, beyond those things that you have no shadow of doubt over. But we're talking at present about those things which you actually have some shadow of doubt over, about those things that aren't necessarily core ethics, but instead where you're having to decide, okay, is it right for this to continue, or is it wrong for this to continue? During this particular transit, and so Mercury's retrograding and closing in on Rahu, and then Mercury's going to station direct and begin to move forward between roughly the 14th and the 19th, and the process will still continue. So as that's happening, there's a temptation to overthink and overcomplicate, when in reality, you need to just be a bit more reflective, give things time to evolve, let some things happen all of their own accord, and be patient at the very least until after the 19th, because you don't want to do anything stupid. Okay. And if you do something stupid, recognize that's all part of the plan. Let it go. So if you could use a little bit of help with this Mercury Rahu energy, please do feel free to schedule in one of my Empower Hour consultations. You're able to find those at the link that you'll see above. That's going to do it for this look at Mercury in Bharani Nakshatra as it closes in on a conjunction with Rahu, the North Node in Ashwini Nakshatra. Between now and the 19th of May, 2023. Until next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.